Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have got a brand new Dragon Ball story, actually, the next one in the Dragon Ball saga. Now again, notice with these Dragon Ball stories, they do implement them kind of in order of the story, right? So we have kind of like the introduction, which is sort of like the Pilaf saga. The next arc is Goku kind of meeting up with Roshi, meeting Krillin, them training, and then going through the 21st World Tournament. I thought that this is an arc that actually could have maintained potentially multiple Dokkan Fests. Well, I mean, Kid Goku and then Jackie Chun, I think, could have been Dokkan Fests from this arc. So we have a number of stages. Stage 2, we grind, and we're able to get Krillin. Stage 4, we grind, and we can get Awakening Medals to awaken Krillin. Stage 7, we can get the medals to awaken the free-to-play Goku we get from the first Dragon Ball story, which will eventually awaken into an LR. We now know what they're doing, similar to what they did with Kid Goku and Arale. It appears as though the next arc is going to be where the LR is going to be, so it's either going to be, I think, a Goku, Bulma, or Krillin, or it's going to be a Goku and Upa. Those are the two, I think, choices for the LR, although most people probably don't know who Upa is, but whatever. So we have the free-to-play Kid Krillin. This is the first TUR Kid Krillin that we're going to be getting, which is cool. And then, of course, here is the awakening for the Goku. And then Turtle School is actually going to be the category which is going to get us the increased drop rates. Now, let's just quickly swap over here. I think what's interesting about this is the first Dragon Ball story, the first one, that has not brought a support memory into the game. I find that interesting. So, again, we can awaken the Kid Krillin. Turtle School category gives us increased drop rates. There's all the stages. There, of course, is the Krillin and the Goku. And then, of course, Turtle School. Here's the missions. Do stage 2 once. Clear all normal and Z-hard stages. This is get Krillin to SA10. Dokkan awaken the Kid Goku. And Dokkan awaken Krillin. That's it for the missions. Every other Dragon Ball story that has been released in the game up to this point has given us a support memory. I'm probably support memories' biggest fans, I would say. I don't think there's anyone that likes support memories more than I do. So kind of strange. All right, so I could already tell by the characters there. So this stage is about Goku finding Launch. Right, because Roshi wants basically a pretty girl before they will accept Goku, I guess, and Krillin kind of as his students, right? So that's what this first stage is. This is Goku and Krillin finding Launch. Now, again, I do think that there are kind of like numerous characters we could get from this arc. A lot of people will say like, oh, they should do more Dragon Ball Saga and stuff like that, but the fact remains that Dragon Ball Saga just carries far less hype than basically the rest of the series. I mean, despite what people want to try and say, it is just a fact. Super Saiyans and the Saiyans in general carry the series, right? It's just, it is what it is. So that's why, like, they could do, I think, like, you know, okay, so in this arc, right, there eventually is the climactic battle between Goku and Jackie Chun. I think they easily could give us, I mean, the moment, like, Jackie Chun, they basically gave us a lot of Jackie Chun stuff in that free-to-play LR. So I guess they'd give us, like, a Dokkan Fest of Goku. And then they potentially could give us multiple characters from the tournament as kind of, like, banner units, I guess is what they could do. There's Nam, who Goku fights, Giran, who Goku fights. Yamcha gets beaten by Master Roshi / Jackie Chun. Just by him swinging his arms. And then, of course, Krillin fights back to... I don't know if Bacterian really needs, like, some major character. But a lot of the other characters, you know, could. Because Nam, I mean, he actually shows up in Dragon Ball GT, right? Super Saiyan 4 Goku actually instant transmissions him back to Earth. Dragon Ball GT has a lot of kind of, like, fan service of that, though, right? Where there's a lot of, like, characters, you know, that are kind of, like, forgotten. Right, like Nam, Launch herself, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff like that. All right, so this is the first stage done. Yeah, all the shenanigans with Launch. I think Launch is easy. It's probably not too crazy, but Launch certainly was very, very good when she first released a couple of years ago. I mean, I would say I want to say until this year, it's uncommon that so many Seminole characters just outright suck. But, I mean, I'm sure if we go back and look, I will always, myself, remember the example of in Future Gohan coming out and his banner unit being terrible. Awful. That was the Tech Trunks that kills Cell in the future. That Trunks was horrible on release, and he was horrible when he, finally got his EZA. So it's like there certainly throughout the years there's been a lot of bad sort of like summonable characters. But I really do feel like this year has just been dreadful. You know what's so funny is I thought the boss design was very good this year. Like whereas like a lot of character design really wasn't that great. I thought that a lot of the enemy stages they gave us were pretty good. Up until the Dismal Future Red Zone, which was just, it's like the Android stage, which is kind of a throwaway. It's just very easy. And then we go into, 3 stages in a row that are exactly the same in First Form Cell, Goku Black, and Zamasu. Then they do give us one that's different, albeit very toxic. The Fusion Zamasu stage. I did like a lot of the Mortals and God Event stages, but those are also a lot of the same. That's what, like, the Worldwide Download Celebration basically just gave us a million tough fights that are all practically the same, right? Which is kind of a far cry. Like, I thought 8th Anniversary Sin Shenron, Omega Shenron, Red Zone Cell Max, like, a lot of those fights, those are all tough fights that released this year. I thought those were all good. But, it's just they give us too much of the same thing. They really want to, like, I don't know, slow down power creep for our characters, I guess, by making most of them build up characters while giving us stages that are super fast and super deadly right away. But, I mean, I don't know. Wouldn't it, like, people definitely have shown that they have the most fun when busted-ass, super good characters are released. So, I mean, I have to imagine if a character is really bad, people are just going to be less inclined to summon. That's what I would think. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. All right, now we got to buckle in because there is a lot of stages here. There's 12 stages, right? Yeah, now here's, Goku and Krillin start training. I do enjoy this portion of Dragon Ball. It's kind of fun, like when they're kind of like swimming away from the sharks and delivering milk and stuff like that. But the secret to Roshi's training is that they do all the little like kind of like regular tasks, but they have his essentially they're doing it weighted, right? Which is funny because then that's essentially the exact same training Goku does when he's on his way to Namek, right? And I guess you could say on King Kai's planet, where it's kind of like the weighted training, and then Goku's power explodes. But that's exactly what happens to Goku and Krillin. The funny thing is that Goku already is superhuman, like the first second he's introduced, because the first encounter Goku has with a character, I guess, is the fish that he fishes. But then Bulma shoots Goku, and Goku lives. So Goku is already... Oh my god, here we go. This is the 3,000-day login support memory. Literally today was day 2,300 for me. So I'm 700 days away from getting that support memory. It feels bad, man. Feels bad. In 700 days, I will get to have that support memory. That's one other thing, too, with a lot of these Dragon Ball Saga choices that they make, or not, these Dragon Ball stories that they make, is I feel like they give us a lot of these Dragon Ball stories where they don't really have a ton of, like, movies in here that they could definitely add. I really hope that when we get to, like, the Buu Saga, I hope that, we get, like, the Vegito fusing animation. I hope we get the Buuhan absorbing like, all these good animations are in there, I'm hoping, right? Because they have all these good animations, but they don't take use of them. I feel like it's really fun to kind of have, like, the little cutscenes, but it's, like, a lot of the arcs that they've done for Dragon Ball stories is not, like, the crazy... Because, it's like something like the Buu Saga, again, is where we have all these, like, super good-looking animations that they can get in there. Yeah, here's Bulma with one of her 10,000 different outfits. And it looks like we are going to skip the prelims here, which I guess does make sense. Does Goku fight King Choppa? No, I think it's the second. Is it the second tournament? Oh, damn, look at me. It has been a while since even I've watched some of the original Dragon Ball episodes. I think Goku fights King Choppa in the second tournament. The 22nd World Tournament, which is the Tien one, I think. By the way, the next arc, I mean, I did mention it earlier, but the next arc that would happen in order after this tournament is the Red Ribbon Army Saga. It should probably go from... What would be the start of it? Colonel Silver? What is it, like Commander Silver or Colonel Silver or something like that? Like that is kind of like the start of it, and it probably will end with Goku defeating Staff Officer Black, I guess. Because there's no way with the Dragon Ball story, they're not going to get through, you know, in like 12 stages or something like that. I don't think the entire Red Ribbon Army Saga, and then also Fortune Teller, the Baba arc. Like, there's no way. Like, the Fortune Teller Baba arc is definitely going to be a separate Dragon Ball story. I mean, so just in, you know, kind of like Dragon Ball, like, they would give us the 21st World Tournament, which is the one we're doing right now. By the way, yeah, Krillin beats Bacterian. It's so goofy. The whole crux of the fight is that he's, like, so stinky and smelly, and then at the end of the fight, Goku's like, hey, Krillin, you don't have a nose. And he's like, oh, yeah, and he just beats Bacteria. That's Toriyama humor right there. But, okay, so we'll go from 21st World Tournament into Red Ribbon Army Saga. That's where the LR should come in. Then Fortune Teller Baba Saga. Then after that, it goes into 22nd World Tournament where, you know, Tien. I really would like that Tien to be a Dokkan Fest. I think if they're going to give Tien a Dokkan Fest, it should be either... probably when he fights Second Form Cell or the 22nd World Tournament. I think 22nd World Tournament would be good because Tien would be a villain. But, you know, he'd be a villain with, like, you know, Earthling links, essentially. So, I would hope that if they do that, that they make Tien, like, a really crazy, like, support or defensive character, right? You know, think of something like Golden Frieza or Bulma. Those two examples is what I would want a Dokkan Fest Tien from the 22nd World Tournament to look like. Otherwise, it's like... because he could be a nice impact for villains. To be honest, LR Bulma is a villain buff, right? Like, you could run her on, like, Power of Wishes or something like that. Like, if we'd get, like, some powerful villain that led Power of Wishes, like, you just run a full villain team plus Bulma, and it would work super well, right? Because Bulma is just like that, right? Like, she's just that good. But after the 22nd World Tournament, then we go into the Demon King Piccolo arc, and then after that is the 23rd World Tournament with Piccolo Jr. So those are all arcs of Dragon Ball. Now, most of the sagas, right, of all the different series, we do have story events of all of them, except for the OG Dragon Ball stories, right? These ones, we've never gotten a story event before for this, right? The 21st World Tournament and all this stuff. And we still, at the moment, they still haven't even done a Dragon Ball Super Dragon Ball story. And we're now 2 years into this. So I will be very curious to see where they start that out, by the way. My best guess is that they'll just have Resurrection F and Battle of Gods potentially as Dragon Ball Z movies. Because we already have the Battle of Gods Dragon Ball story, and it's in the movies, right? So I think what we might have happen would be eventually coming up, they're gonna do Blue Kaioken Goku and Hit from the Universe 6 or 7 tournament. They would come into the game in a much better spot right now, too, with the tournament participants category. And, you know, Hit could potentially help out Kale. Like, it could be pretty good. And I think that's where they would introduce the first Dragon Ball story for Dragon Ball Super, the Universe 6 or 7 tournament arc. Because, remember, they do go in order. All right, so here's where Nam fights Ranfan. Ranfan is funny, just in that her whole strategy is she just gets naked, basically. I mean, well, she gets down to her bra and panties, but Nam is, like, very innocent, and he's like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And then he just closes his eyes and one-shots her. It's very... again, a lot of the 21st World Tournament is very goofy. And then you just get to, like, Krillin versus Jackie Chun towards the end of it, and it's just like, it's like a super serious fight. Well, I say super serious fight, but it is very goofy as well. I guess Goku vs. Giran is a real fight, too. Alright, so we got rid of Ranfan. A lot of these characters, man, would be interesting if they would get, like, actual, like, units besides just, like, these SRs and rares that we have in, like, you know, the Dragon Ball Saga banner. But, again, I mean, I don't... To be fair, they gave, like, Zarbuto, Ranrana, and, what, Zerloin or whatever. Like, they have a summonable character. So, I mean, it's not the biggest stretch in the world that, like, some of these characters from this arc could get it. I mean, to be fair, Nam deserves, like, I would probably argue him as a summonable unit over Ribrana and Zarbuto and shit, right? I love that they did get a unit, though. Like, they kind of, like, do the magical girl shit, then shoot the pretty black hole or whatever it is. That stuff is so goofy. I am not, like, a Universe 2 girls hater. Like, Ribrana and stuff like, dude, like, people, I remember, if you guys were not around when the Turn of Power was going on, people hated Ribrianne. Now, one of the reasons people hated Ribrianne so much, though, was, I don't know what it was, but the amount of screen time they give Ribrianne in the Turn of Power is obscene. Ribrianne is fighting in so many episodes, right? It's like Goku fights in every single episode. And there's interviews with, like, one of the producers of Dragon Ball Super, someone high up and that worked on Dragon Ball Super. They said in an interview that they loved the idea of the Tournament of Power because it was a tournament, it was a setting where they could have Goku fight in every single episode. Like, that was stated. That's one reason they loved the Dragon Ball the Tournament of Power idea, the concept. So it is interesting that it's like, you know, they talk about, you know, like, oh yeah, we could have Goku fighting in every episode, but then they do it with Ribrianne. Literally, like, the 1 hour special, which is so fire. Oh, there's the stage where you get the Metal Suiken Goku. But the 1 hour episode, which was just so very, very, very fire, right? Like, that 1 hour episode, it starts with Goku fighting Ribrianne, right? Like, and then finally we get into the Goku versus Jiren. By the way, I'm telling y'all, that shit is mostly untouched. I mean, they have a little bit of Blue Kaioken, you know, like those attacks, like that stuff does look pretty good. But like they could still do probably a lot more with like a Goku or something like that. You know, that whole animation of Goku kind of like falling into the Spirit Bomb and stuff like that, like we could so easily see that turned into something really cool, right? Like that is going to be an exciting day. The thing is that now, I mean, we got the 50,000th unit where, like, you know, a new Dokkan Fest comes out. I'm talking about 17 and 18. And then now they need excessive amounts of help, which they do. 17 and 18, I mean, they're solid, but just their attack and defense, I feel like neither is high enough. And then the characters that you have to run with them are probably not good enough. I think that they could settle into a really good spot on, like, a new team with, like, a busted, like, we need a new tournament participants busted Goku. It can't be Kid Goku. Like, Kid Goku from this tournament wouldn't work because Kid Goku doesn't fulfill their requirements. It's got to be an adult Goku, right? All right, so Jackie Chun beats Krillin, of course, right? You know, he trained, like, it's Master Roshi in disguise. He trains Krillin. Jackie Chun beats Yamcha. Goku beats Giran. What's the next one is Goku versus Nam. That's the next fight. That's actually a pretty good fight as well. Nam actually holds his own pretty well against Goku. All right, so moving on to stage 9 right here. Yeah, dude, there's so many stages here, but only a few of them are actually even giving us stuff, right? Like, what are we taking a look at here? One stage gives us the medals to awaken Goku. One stage gives us the medals to awaken Krillin. And then we get the stage where we actually get the droppable Krillin. Those are kind of like the only sort of stages that really actually matter, right? The rest of it is not actually doing anything. Yes, here's the one Nam card. That's his, like, sky attack or whatever the hell it is, where he just jumps up super high and then, like, lands on him. Stuff is goofy, man. OG Dragon Ball is very fun. It is very fun, but, you know, again, people, they don't get down with, you know, Nam one-shotting, you know, Ranfin in her bra and panties. They don't get down with that the same way they get down with, you know, Super Saiyan Vegeta transforming and monologuing to the androids and then ends with, you know, do you androids experience fear? Right? Like, guess what? People are taking Vegeta all day, every day over the goofy-ass beginning of the series. By the way, speaking of a character, that is going to be a sick-ass day. I think Super Saiyan Vegeta... Oh, yeah, Nam figures out that Jackie Chun is Roshi. Because Roshi, of course, is famous. But that would be a sick Dokkan Fest. That's one I've been preaching for a while, is Super Saiyan Vegeta from the Android 19 fight. And I think just an intro of him going Super Saiyan. I speak for everyone when I say I am done with transforming characters. I'm good. Don't need them anymore. Intros can get the job done, right? Imagine we get Buu Saga, Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the fight against Fat Buu, the iconic Super Saiyan 3 transformation scene. And it's not some crappy animation where when we're fighting a Majin Buu enemy, or, you know, when we're below 50% HP on turn 5, like, it's just an intro, right? You literally, every single time you ever use the character, you could pop the intro and you could see the Super Saiyan 3 stuff. That's good. Although, to be fair, I guess they could, that's how large Jackie Chan's Seawar. I guess they could, restrict it, like, you know, if Goku's fighting a like an artificial life form enemy or something like that. Oh, wouldn't that be just the worst? Oh, please, Dokkan. Because poor Turles. Turles has this incredible intro. And to me, it seems like a lot of the budget for Turles, it went into his intro and his active skill. But the animation you always see from Turles' super attack kind of sucks, right? Which is kind of a bummer. Kind of the same thing with the Dokkan Fest Turn of Power androids. I mean, I don't know. The only animation of theirs, like, I particularly really like is probably their intro. Or, yeah, their intro. Because it's so goofy. At 17 and 18, they were great. Those episodes where they're fighting Universe 2, they were great, man. I love it. All right, so here's where Jackie Chun uses the Bankoko Bickery Show, the Lightning Flash Surprise Special Attack, or whatever it is. And then, oh, the moon, and then Goku transforms into the moon. Or transforms into a Great Ape. Yeah, I guess Great Ape, oh, yeah, they could give us a Dokkan Fest from this fight for Kid Goku, and it could be Great Ape Kid Goku. That would be, dude, that would be potentially strong. Like a Goku that goes Great Ape. Because a Goku that would go Great Ape, you know, for a couple of turns, you guys already know what I'm thinking. Canceling boss special attacks, baby. That is what we are talking about. Yes. I love canceling boss special attacks. All right, so, yeah, here's, you know, Jackie Chun doesn't even really fight Great Ape Kid Goku, right? They just kind of, like, Yamcha, I think it's Yamcha who tells Jackie Chun what the business is that Goku transforms looking at the moon. And then Jackie Chun, this is the thing people lose sight of, too, when it comes to power scaling early Dragon Ball, is that Roshi in, you know, what is this, episode 25 or some shit like that? In episode 25, Roshi is capable of blowing up the moon in, like, 2 seconds. Right? Like, Roshi just reaches his arms forward and blows the moon straight into hell. Another crazy feat, I mean, it's in the Saiyan saga, but Piccolo destroying the moon is even more insane. Because, like, Jackie Chun fires up his big Kamehameha and stuff like that. Piccolo just throws his arm out and blows that shit into hell in, like, a second. Like, it's just instantaneously. Oh, my God, Piccolo, calm down. Hey, there we go. We got another animation. So this is LR Jackie Chun's active skill right here, right? But they did have him shooting the Great Ape right there. That's still cool. I am glad to get some of these kind of, like, special animations in here. I'm still kind of bummed, though, because, I mean, they made that LR Jackie Chun very good. You can't run him against AoE bosses, unfortunately, but I still would call him very good, right? I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, be mad that a free-to-play LR can't take, you know, a 500k normal before he attacks. Like, it's whatever, right? It's a free-to-play LR. He's still very good. But I do wish that rather than a free-to-play LR, he was a Dokkan Fest. Jackie Chun, to me, feels like a character that could have gotten a Dokkan Fest. Although Roshi himself still doesn't have one. They could give Roshi a Dokkan Fest from early Dragon Ball. Like, when he, whatchamacallit? When he first does the Kamehameha, the first Kamehameha in Dragon Ball, Roshi does that one. I think that they could easily kind of do that. All right, so now the fight is going up against our boy Kid Goku. All right, here he goes. Oh, it's the new Goku too. Okay, cool. All right, well, let's just get him out of here. So again, remember, Jackie Chun does win this fight. I think that is one cool thing about Dragon Ball, is it kind of like, you know, Goku is the hero and stuff like that, sets him up. But Goku does lose a lot. I feel like people don't, a lot of times, if you don't think about it too much, people don't realize how often Goku actually does lose, right? Like, so he loses to Jackie Chun here, then he loses to Tien. I mean, he loses to Tao the first time they fight. Like, we just go through all the stuff, and Goku loses, like, the first time he fights Demon King Piccolo gets in Goku's ass. Like, Demon King Piccolo destroys Goku. That shit is like, Goku can't even keep up with him. Right? Like, it's crazy. That's another kid. Dude, there's so many options for Dokkan still to go through. And then now, potentially, we might get the, you know, a new Dragon Ball anime, and now Dragon Ball Magic, hopefully soon. Yeah, we'll see. But there's still a lot of stuff, you know, DKP, Tien, that Vegeta, like I mentioned, like a bunch already. Great Ape Kid Goku from this tournament would be cool, right? There's a lot of stuff they could do. Finally, we did get 23rd World Tournament stuff, though. Although they still, the first portion of the fight of Goku versus Piccolo Jr., there's a lot of stuff that they could still take. Plus, they could probably take animations from Kakarot as well, for Goku versus Piccolo from 23rd World Tournament. And I feel like that celebration was pretty successful for Dokkan. All right, there we go. So we got that done. Again, remember that there is, we do have to awaken the Goku and the Krillin. I think I'm probably going to do that. So there's a bunch of free-to-play characters that they just released. I think I'm going to awaken all the free-to-play characters from the celebration in a separate video. So it's Goku, Krillin, there's 17 and 18 from the Turn of Power, there's GT Android 18, and then there's Hellfighter 17. Because I'm just going to do a video, I think, where I awaken all 6 of them, right? So, let me know what you guys think of the 21st World Tournament. Yeah, these missions, these are just for awakening the Goku and Krillin and stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think of the 21st World Tournament Dragon Ball Story event. I do like that they continue dropping these, and I definitely do look forward to seeing the next one, which would be the Red Ribbon Army Saga, which would get us our new LR, right? Again, probably Goku, Krillin, and Bulma, or Goku and Upa, probably one of the two. So, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch y'all next time.